Half a year ago, we were discussing here how severely undervalued Avalanche was in June 2023. Ever since, we already got a 5x from the bottom of Avalanche and a 4x from the regions that we were discussing these prices. Now, I was expecting Avalanche to go to $10, and it literally did go there twice since I've made this video. So now guys, this video is gonna be exceptionally important for anyone who was able to get Avalanche between $10 to $20 or even lower. And of course, it's very important to anyone who's interested in getting in Avalanche now. Just please remember, we're already like a 4 to 5x for a really large coin. But in this video, we're gonna discuss a few different scenarios that I envision. And look, nobody really knows the future. We gotta remember, absolutely nobody knows the future. This is why we gotta outline a few scenarios and react accordingly. So guys, welcome back to AR7 Crypto channel once again. Let's get to the video for Avalanche. Alright guys, so Avalanche already broken so many important resistance levels, and at the moment it's just flying high, okay? At the moment it still actually didn't outperform, for example, Solana, that has been somewhat of a champion of this bull run so far. Avalanche was relatively lagging, but is definitely the next hottest layer one in the last few months after Solana. So that is somewhat important, okay? So it is still possible that many degens who were in Solana, maybe they will be rotating to Avalanche. In a way, we already saw it with Inu, for example, guys. So for example, we've had Bonk pumping like crazy, you know, and recently we start to have like some massive meme coin pumping on Avalanche, okay? So Inu was like the main one, and we already starting to see some emulations of what happened on Solana on Avalanche already, okay? So this is a very good start, but again, we gotta remember we're already like 4 to 5x higher from the lows, and we're literally only around a 3x away from the all-time high. Alright guys, so as we said, let's go over the fundamentals of what's happening with Avalanche, and from that we'll try to gauge what can Avalanche do when it comes to its price action within the next few months and years, okay? So here it is, okay? So let's first go to the DeFi TVL on Avalanche, okay? So far, when it comes to DeFi TVL, Avalanche is not that impressive. They're primarily more impressive on the gaming side right now, but when it comes to DeFi, they are not that impressive yet. So like, just to show you, okay, we are looking at the video that I've made back in June 2023, okay? Let me just show you. Back in June 2023, Avalanche price was $14 and the TVL was 678 million, okay? Right now we have 967 million only, okay? So just for reference, okay, Avalanche was around $44 to $50, okay? For example, here, okay, in August 2021, we started having like around the $2 billion TVL, okay? So when it comes to the DeFi TVL, we're actually not as high as we were in 2021, especially if we compare to Avalanche's price, okay? So at least when we look at the DeFi Llama and the DeFi TVL, it is actually showing us that AVAX could be very overvalued, and maybe it is due to correction. But this is only one data point, and again, we're gonna continue with a few more data points, and we're gonna finally, at the end of the video, analyze what Avalanche can do. Okay, so from the TVL, let's continue to another really important and interesting thing. And this is, guys, the amount of basically the contract deployers. This is basically the amount of decentralized apps that Avalanche has, okay? This is what we're looking here, and this is the official, actually, Avalanche website, okay? So this is the official data from Avalanche, okay? So as we were discussing back in June, you know, it was just going higher and higher and higher, and this is why Avalanche was just looking absolutely a no-brainer to me a few months ago, because the price was going down and down and down, but the amount of dApps was just going higher and higher and higher. So this was one of the main things that we discussed in this last video. And now guys, I want to show you most recently, look at this major spike that we've had here in December, okay? And without really diving deeper than what I'm showing here in this video right now, I can guarantee you that a large amount of these are just new meme coins that are launching just non-stop on Solana and other chains as well, but you definitely see that on Avalanche too, alright? So if we have a lot of new dApps kind of launching right now in this like parabolic run on new dApps on Avalanche, okay, it is somewhat contradicting, okay? So on the other end, it can actually mean that Avalanche is just gonna go higher and higher and higher in its price, right? Why? Because you are gonna have more and more dApps that are being used by different million users on the Avalanche network, and they're gonna need some AVAX, you know, to pay for gas to do whatever they need to do with the dApp, okay? So when it comes to, again, when it comes to dApps on Avalanche, this is exceptionally bullish, and especially this major spike here, showing us that Avalanche could still be getting higher and higher with the price from here. Now guys, another really important thing, okay, so in case we're not gonna go parabolic in the bull run very soon, okay, we definitely need to be looking at the tokenomics, okay? So in the bear market, guys, if you saw my other videos from the past, I was looking on tokenomics a lot, because, you know, this shows you like how much things are likely gonna be correcting along the way, okay? So for example, Illuvium, for example, got really diluted from the end of the last bull run, okay? So tokenomics are exceptionally important, and the main thing that we're gonna say in this video today is that right now we have around 400 million AVAX tokens at circulating supply, whilst the fully diluted is gonna be 720 million, okay? It's still almost 50% of the current supply, okay? A little less, it's around 40%, okay? And we're looking here at 2030, okay? Just like it says over here, all of the staking reward unlock is gonna end in July 2030, okay? But anyway, guys, if we are still looking at it as a 4-year cycle, and if it's gonna be similar to all the other bull runs we've had before, it means that we're supposed to have a local crypto top in 2025, okay? So we will have to see what can happen by 2025, okay? And by 2025, we're supposed to have around 491 million tokens, okay? And right now, we have 411, okay? So if we're gonna round it up, it means we're gonna have approximately another 100 million tokens, okay? And if, for example, actually crypto and AVAX are gonna correct pretty heavily somewhat soon, and we're gonna have a mini bear market for let's say a few months, then of course this dilution can add extra sell pressure that we still gotta remember of, okay? Okay guys, so the last fundamental piece of information I want to check is just the volume that we have on the decentralized exchanges on the Avalanche network, okay? So if we go back again to my video from June 2023, alright guys, so over here we're gonna see that back in June 2023, the volume on Avalanche was $19 million, okay? And also, importantly, we gotta see how many chains had more volume than Avalanche, okay? So we have Ethereum number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we've had 7 blockchains that had more volume than Avalanche has today, okay? So Avalanche was number 8, and interestingly also Solana here was number 9, okay? Now let's move back to December 2023. Let's have a look on what happens right now. So first of all, the volume on Avalanche right now is almost 10x higher than what it was in June 2023. That's pretty crazy, okay? So when it comes actually to the volume, okay, at least on the decentralized exchanges, we can say that Avalanche is even somewhat undervalued, right? So because Avalanche was between $10 to $14 when the volume was 19 million, okay, but now the volume is almost 10x, okay, higher than what it was in June 2023, but the price is only a 4x higher, okay? So when it comes to the volume, and again, primarily if we compare it to the middle of 2023, okay, Avalanche is also still kind of not really got to its full potential when it comes to the pump that Avalanche can still have, okay? Now, let's compare to the other chains, because it's super important to know how good Avalanche is doing compared to other chains, okay? So this time we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 chains that have more volume than Avalanche. Avalanche now is number 6. After over here, it was number 8. And just another super interesting thing, as we said, Solana over here was number 9, but today Solana is number 2, above Arbitrum and BSC, again, because they have some major mania of meme coins right now on Solana, and they have crazy on-chain volume right now on Solana. So now guys, let's just cover everything that we discussed, okay? So we discussed the DeFi TVL on Avalanche that is not so great in my opinion because it increased very little relatively to AVAX price ascent, okay? So when I look at DeFi TVL, I'm bearish, okay? When I look at the new dApps on Avalanche in this parabola that we have, I'm ultra bullish, okay? Because it means Avalanche is gonna have a lot more activity and more people are gonna need AVAX, okay? So TVL is bearish. dApps on Avalanche is bullish, okay? Tokenomics is kind of neutral, okay? Again, depends just if we have a bear market or a bull market soon, okay? So tokenomics is neutral, and volume is also very bullish. Okay, so we have two things that are bullish in this fundamental information, and one thing that is bearish and one thing that is neutral, which is the tokenomics. So based on these four, let's finally get and try to understand what is AVAX price is gonna do within the next few months and years. Alright guys, so to know what AVAX is gonna do, we actually have to look at Bitcoin and generally the total crypto market cap, okay? We gotta see what's gonna, because Bitcoin is leading the way, okay? For example, as you can see, Avalanche was, like for example, look at this, okay? So Avalanche was pretty dead and then it did like a 2x very quickly here back in January, February. Now what happened back in January, February? Bitcoin just went out of its lows of the last bear market, okay? So Avalanche also followed, okay? Now most recently, also Bitcoin led the way, okay, and like started exploding here in late October. And just so you know, Avalanche at first was kind of relatively sleeping, okay? It still didn't escape this kind of major lows that Avalanche had, okay? So once Bitcoin was super impressive and just, you know, broke the 30K level region and stayed there like higher and higher and, you know, was just going higher and higher, Avalanche was finally able to do this major 4 to 5x, okay? So the thing number one for anyone who watches this video, none of this was financial advice, but just please always remember that AVAX and any other altcoins are strongly dependent on what Bitcoin is doing, okay? So from what Bitcoin is doing, you will know what the altcoins are gonna do as well, including AVAX, okay? So the first thing to watch for is Bitcoin, okay? Like what Bitcoin is doing. Now guys, as I said, I want to present a few different scenarios that I myself currently am looking at, and I'm open to all possibilities. And again, if you've been an investor or trader in crypto for a while, you know that we have to be humble. Sometimes the market completely surprises us and we have to be open to multiple scenarios, okay? So now I want to outline, please, the scenarios that I have for Avalanche and basically for Bitcoin and the rest of crypto. And based on that, we're gonna know what Avalanche is gonna be able to do. Okay, so now scenario number one, guys. Scenario number one, I think, is not really discussed by almost anyone right now. It's a really interesting scenario in my opinion. And actually, this scenario, guys, okay, the first scenario that I want to discuss is that what we are having right now is actually the bull run, okay? And that we're gonna actually get to new all-time highs, or basically the highs of the market before the halving of Bitcoin, which is gonna be in April 2024, okay? So basically the first scenario that I want to outline is that this parabola that we have, like in many coins, you know, it's not only AVAX, it's Solana, it's many meme coins that are exploding, which is normally a sign of a major bull run. All right, so we started seeing this parabola, and actually my first scenario is that this parabola is gonna continue, okay, and AVAX is gonna reach all-time highs or maybe even higher, okay, within basically the next few months. And then we're gonna enter a new bear market that is gonna be at least a year long, all the way to 2025. Now, let me show you, I guess, one of the main reasons why I think so. Or I should mention two reasons. Okay, first of all is that literally, guys, like, look, after such a long bear market, you know, with Avalanche, just look, you know, like, so this is 2020. This is like, right, guys, so just literally first just look at the chart, okay? All right, guys, so the main thing that I want to show you guys, okay, so for example, look at the last bull run for Avalanche, and basically all the cryptocurrencies would look very similar, okay? So in the last bull run, you see, so once you start going up, you kind of don't stop, you know, like over here you may have some major correction. Now that was a very major correction for Avalanche, like from $50 to $10 at the time in 2021. But just generally, look how fast it goes, okay? So the price was like $3 in you know, the very beginning of January 2021. And you know, basically it did more than a 10x in just 1 month, okay? And then later over here, between July 2021 until November, so that was like 3 months, okay? Over here, it's also went from $10 to 150. So now, guys, most recently, just look at this, all right? So first of all, it does look similar to what was happening before, okay? Once we have a major bull market, the bull run start, okay? So as I'm recording the video, Avalanche already went from like $8 to $9, okay, in October. Up to December, it's already 44. Okay, so basically in 2 months we already have a 4 to 5x for one of the largest cryptocurrencies in the world, the top 15 crypto, okay, Avalanche, okay. So first of all, it's just from how the chart looks and, you know, from the sentiment and just everything we have going on, I think, you know, it is very possible that this is the bull run, okay? And like the top is gonna be within the next few months, okay? I'm definitely open to that. Now let me show you the second. Okay, the second point that is very interesting to me. Okay, I see many people use Google Trends here. Okay, and they are searching for Bitcoin. Okay, but actually, guys, Bitcoin is already, like, you know, it's the most established asset. Okay, so all the new people that join crypto, okay, they are much more interested like in smaller cryptocurrencies. Okay, so in my opinion, in Google Trends, the search term that is more interesting, at least to me, is actually crypto and not Bitcoin. Okay, if you search for Bitcoin, it will look somewhat different. But if you search for crypto, okay, look at the really interesting thing. Okay, so I'm looking here at the last 5 years. Okay, so the data here is like from 2019 until today. And look, the interesting thing, guys. Okay, so back in 2023, you see we had some spikes, but they were subsiding, okay? Had some spikes, but generally it was still kind of trending lower, okay? Because there was no interest in crypto yet. Over here, this spike was just the FTX collapse, and over here, you know, like it was the Terra Luna collapse. So every time we had some really major collapse, many people were tuning in, but you know, like the trend was down, okay? So this was the end of the bull run in 2021, and you know, the trend was just down and down and down. Now, when it comes to the crypto term, Google Trends, okay, just look at how this chart over here looks. Like, this is not a downtrend anymore at all, okay? This is the start of a new uptrend, and even look like we had some, like a support over here, like in the end of November or something like that, and a new spike, okay, and a new high. And I think there's a very decent chance we're gonna keep having higher and higher highs pretty soon over here. So now, guys, like most recently, like the level of interest, okay, in crypto was like, you see, it had like 20 points over here, okay? Now, the last time we had something similar was actually the very, very beginning of the last bull run, okay? So Bitcoin over here already reached new all-time highs, I should mention, okay? Like in January 2021, Bitcoin was 40K, while the last all-time high before that was 20K, okay? So I just want to mention that the amount of interest that we have here in December 2023 from the amount of people in the world that are searching for crypto, okay? After we had a major downtrend, like we had a, you know, bear market in the price and a bear market in the real interest across the world, okay? Now we are at the same levels. Interestingly, actually, when Bitcoin also reached 40K the last time, okay? So basically, guys, I'm super open, okay? And in my opinion, anyone who's been enough in the markets should also be open that we are actually gonna have something like that within the next few months, okay? And like the parabola has already started. So in this scenario, if anybody is already having AVAX, in my opinion, within the next few months, especially if AVAX is gonna get to like 100 or higher, if you know, at least I'm gonna be super cautious and super ready to start offloading and selling, okay? Because again, like as we saw so many times in crypto, things that go up very quickly, they also come down very quickly. So this is scenario number one. The scenario number one is that this is right now the bull run, okay? And it's gonna end before the halving of Bitcoin, before April 2024. And then we're gonna have a new bear market, probably shorter than the last one, but still a new bear market for about a year, okay? If this is the case, then the top for AVAX is gonna be, you know, basically within the next few months. And then, guys, rest assured, like if it will go from like $8 to above 150, it will break its all-time high, okay? If it will do so again, like in 4 months, rest assured we're gonna have something similar to what happened the last time. Now, in my opinion, it is extremely unlikely that AVAX will get under $10 once again. But you know, like let's say it goes to like $200 or 150, or just let's say it reaches AVAX all-time high again and then collapses again. Rest assured that, like, at the very least, I will be even expecting AVAX to get back to like $30. Okay, so right now, as I'm recording the video, the price is 45. So yes, I literally mean that let's say we do another 4x from here, you know, AVAX can go to 200 from 45 and then collapse to 30, maybe even 20 once again, but then, you know, start a new cycle where AVAX can go even higher to, like, let's say to 400 to 500 by the year of 2026. Maybe late 2025, 2026, something like that. This is scenario number 1, okay? Now guys, let's discuss scenario number 2. And of course, this is a very, very likely scenario also in my opinion. And this is basically the 4-year cycle, okay, for Bitcoin and for what cryptocurrencies have been doing so far, okay? So all of the major bull run years, okay, have been, okay, in 2013, 2017, and 2021, meaning the next one should be in 2025 because the halving for Bitcoin is in the election year, okay, in 2024, just like it was in 2020 over here, and in 2016 over here. And as you can see, once again, every single time you had a lot of new price appreciation after the halving. This is what was happening with Bitcoin historically. So we definitely should be very open that it will happen once again, because this is how all of the cycles so far have played out. Now, so if that is the case, okay, normally around the halving time, we actually have major dumps, okay? So either these dumps happen a little bit before the halving or sometimes they happen after the halving. So for example, over here, if you can see 2016, the halving was like in June, July 2016. So as you can see, back in the day, it actually corrected quite severely. Like the correction over here was something like 36%, okay? From the top like to the low, okay, around the time of the halving. Now in 2020 we've had the COVID Black Swan event, so this was a lot more severe, but over here the correction like in 1 month was like 62%, okay? So basically now Bitcoin is a lot larger, so like having Bitcoin correct now 62%, you know, to me, like, it is exceptionally unlikely, and 62% will just like get us to like a double low. So I mean, look, I'm open. It is possible. I don't want to say it is completely impossible. It is possible, but for something like that, we will have to really have like the stock market collapse. And just again, we'll need like some major Black Swan event, okay? So in my opinion, this is just extremely unlikely. But let's have a look if Bitcoin corrects from here, or let's say from 48K. Okay, let's say it corrects from here, from 48K, like 36%, okay? This actually gets us to the critical level of 30K. Of 30K for Bitcoin, okay? Why is that the critical level? Because if you guys remember in 2023, Bitcoin was struggling really hard, okay, to break this level, and once it broke, yes, we have like a major altcoin mania. Just like we said with AVAX, it moved from $8 to 45, okay, only after Bitcoin made a significant move above 30K, okay? And just also for reference, back in 2021, 30K was an exceptionally important support level, okay, in the middle of the bull market, okay? So it was a support level, and we got even a higher all-time high for Bitcoin and for crypto in general. But then once again, guys, once we broke the 30K, okay, look how severe was that. We just super quickly went to even under 20K. So anyway, 30K was an exceptionally important level. And basically, since this major break that Bitcoin had at 30-something K, okay, we like didn't have any significant pullbacks yet, okay? So I think something very decent is gonna be a correction from like, let's say 48K back to 30K of around 36%, which may get us to 30,000. Now let's say the correction is gonna start from here, from like 44K, okay, to 36%. Then it's going to be interesting, because then it's going to get us to 27K, but that of course could be maybe a very quick wick, okay, and maybe Bitcoin can spike right back to 30K or something like that, okay? So if we have something like that within the next few months, so let's say this is not like the bull run right now, this actually means that we're going to have some really pretty severe correction, okay, in Bitcoin and the rest of crypto, okay, within the next few months before the halving, or as we said, somewhat close to the halving time, okay? If we're gonna have something like that, guys, then in my opinion, this scenario number 2 is exceptionally likely, in my opinion. And then I really think like there's gonna be a really high chance that the market top for crypto is gonna be around 2025. Now the market is really kind of front running itself in a major way, right? So for example, many people were expecting 12K, as the bottom for Bitcoin, but Bitcoin stopped at 15K, okay? In the bull run, everybody were expecting like 100 and something K, but you see like all of these kind of Wyckoff distributions, all of these kind of whale distributions that we've had here above 60K for Bitcoin, okay? Okay, this also showed us that like the whales were like front running each other, okay? They didn't want to wait to 100K, they were already selling at 50 at 60K, and then they were buying at 15K instead of waiting for 12K, okay? So everything kind of happens faster, you know, and like even this recent move, guys, like in late 2023, it is pretty like early, okay, when it comes to having an altcoin season already in 2023. All right, guys, so in this scenario, okay, if this scenario plays out, okay, and in my opinion, this is another very, very strong and possible scenario, I just still think that the market cycle top could still even be maybe at the very late of 2024 or maybe just the beginning of 2025. But honestly, guys, I will be extremely surprised if we're gonna have a market cycle top once again in Q4 2025. Okay, I would personally be expecting it somewhere between Q4 of 2024 up until maybe at the latest Q2 2025, and maybe most likely I will say Q1 2025, okay, between January to March 2025. So guys, if this scenario plays out, okay, if the second scenario is the one that is gonna play out, okay, and Bitcoin is gonna correct to 30K, guys, rest assured that the rest of crypto, the rest of altcoins are gonna correct a lot more, okay? So let's just say that this is now the top, okay, or let's say Avalanche is gonna reach maybe $50, okay, it was reaching these levels before. Who knows, maybe we're gonna have something even similar to what happened here in 2021, all right? So if Bitcoin is correcting approximately 30 to 36%, once again, be rest assured that Avalanche can very, very easily correct at least 50%, okay? So let's say from $50, it can correct, as we said, 50%, okay? So over here we had very, very major levels that, of course, for AVAX, again, we would like to see AVAX kind of testing as support, you know, the $29 region and then again the $22 region. Over here, like it kind of was fighting, you know, a few weeks. It had a few weeks that it was fighting with this region, but again, it didn't like go above and then sort of, you know, corrected over here, stayed over here for many weeks and then went higher. So at the moment, AVAX is looking really parabolic to me, okay, guys? So this is why, at least me, I can only see two scenarios from here, okay? Either AVAX is gonna continue like crazy, it's gonna go above the all-time high. This is gonna be the market cycle top, okay? This is gonna be like major front running, like the top is gonna be before the halving or maybe around the halving, okay? And then Avalanche is gonna correct from, let's say, like $200 to maybe 30, as we said, okay? This is scenario number one. Now, scenario number two, which is also super interesting, is that like the local top is gonna be around, you know, these levels, like from 45, but I think, again, as I said, I think it can definitely reach like 50 or maybe all the way up to 60, okay? But then AVAX is gonna correct, let's say in Q1 2024, okay, back to either 20, let's say to this region between $20 to $30. But it has to confirm, okay, like just look at it like that. If AVAX, okay, is gonna correct back over here, and let's say by April or March 2024, okay, let's say that it's gonna correct back to this region of 22, right? So just have a look, okay? AVAX spent in this region like an exceptionally long time, okay? It spent here like more than 2 years, okay? This is why basically this was the accumulation area for Avalanche. And when I did the video in June 2023, it was around here, you know, like the accumulation area. But as we said, guys, like it had a little bit of a fight over here and then it just like exploded, like, you know, and then from here we had another like 2x in no time, okay, in less than a month for Avalanche. So this is why before AVAX is going to its all-time high, you know, if it's gonna correct back to these regions once again, and as you can see, it had this really significant trend line that, you know, it broke like super quickly here at the $30 region, which was also very important for Avalanche. Let's say if it actually corrects below but makes a fake out, okay, below here, like let's say February, March 2024, and it goes to like $22 or maybe, who knows, like on a capitulation maybe even 19, but then, you know, shoots up like crazy back to 25 and holds it as support, you know, for a few months. You need to see Avalanche kind of fighting with these regions for a few months, okay? if something like that happens, and then we have the halving in April 2024, okay, and let's say only in May, June, July, we start finally having some new major upside, okay, for Avalanche. This, in my opinion, is gonna be the most healthy scenario. I will even say I kind of hope that this is what will happen, because if this is what will happen, then the market like will have a lot more energy to actually reach much higher prices. So like if scenario 1 is correct, okay, we are actually gonna have a relatively much lower price target, okay, for all cryptocurrencies, for Bitcoin and the total crypto market cap, okay, than what we could have had the market top was like in the beginning of 2025. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Like we discussed here the DeFi TVL, we discussed here the number of dApps on Avalanche that is going absolutely ballistic, which is super bullish, okay. We looked at the tokenomics of Avalanche and the volume on AVAX DEX, on AVAX decentralized exchanges. And we looked at two scenarios, okay? We have a 4 to 5x that was exceptionally quick, and normally it's really dangerous to have such quick moves, okay, in cryptocurrencies. And this is why I'm expecting the next few months to be exceptionally pivotal, okay, for Avalanche and all of crypto, really. Like, in my opinion, this video is very important to even people who are not interested specifically in Avalanche. But anyway, we have two scenarios, okay? Scenario number 1, that this is right now actually the bull run, okay, in the market cycle, okay. The cycle top is gonna be sometime within the next few months, okay, before the halving of Bitcoin, okay. This is gonna be basically the high point up until 2026, okay, something like that. This is scenario number 1. Scenario number 2 is gonna see Avalanche like top somewhere close over here, okay, and then correct to some region between $20 to $30, then spend there a few months preferably, and then Avalanche is gonna get to a lot higher prices than whatever it was able to reach within the next few months. So guys, hopefully all of that makes sense. Hopefully you found this video valuable. If you did, definitely subscribe to the channel, because I'm gonna be very active in this major bull market that we have over here. I was very active in the bear market as well, and this is how I was able to make videos when Avalanche was $14 and $10. I had videos about Solana actually over here, like when it was like $12, $11 and so on. I'm gonna stay here in the next bear market and so on. So you're very welcome to subscribe, to like this video if you enjoyed the video, and to help the algorithm. And yeah, guys, thank you very much again for being here. I was AR7 Crypto, and have a fantastic week and a fantastic weekend ahead. And cheers as always.